Welcome to Escape to the Country. This towering monument behind me was erected to commemorate one of two of this county's most famous sons who coincidentally happened to share the same name. But to whom was it built and where? Well, as ever, join me in just a moment and I'll tell you. Today's house hunters are hoping to switch suburban living for a relaxed life in a rural setting, and our properties present more than what first meets the eye.
Oh, wow! That's different.
Yeah. And they find it hard to contain their excitement.
Sold then.
Sold? Really? Sold?
Sold.
Pretty much getting there.
And we only just started. Well, today we are in Dorset, and this is the Hardy Monument, built not as you might think to the Victorian author Thomas Hardy, but rather to Vice Admiral Sir Thomas Masterman Hardy. He was the flag captain of HMS Victory, in whose arms Nelson famously died following the Battle of Trafalgar back in 1805. But Hardy, the Admiral, was a naval hero in his own right, going on to become the first Sea Lord before his death in 1839. In 1844, this monument was put up to commemorate his efforts, and ever since then, it's dominated this part of the county. And if you've never been here before, this is a great place to start because it gives you a genuinely bird's-eye view of some of the best that Dorset has to offer. Well, house hunting in Dorset can be an expensive business. Here, the average price of a detached property is currently £343,000. That's a whopping £60,000 above the national figure. So if you want a little bit more value for money, here's the tip. Head west, away from the border with Hampshire and away from the coast. Little villages like Charminster and Charlton Down can offer you plenty of value for money, but also loads of village charm. And what's more, they're within easy distance of the county town of Dorchester. So what about today's buyers? What's attracted them to a life in Dorset? Well, let's meet them and find out. Anita met semi-retired sustainability consultant Robert in their homeland of South Africa. They first set eyes on one another at work and have now been married for 42 years.
I was at Cape Town University doing ballet course, and I joined the bank, and Robert was my boss at the time.
Anita is my soulmate. We pretty much do everything together.
Travelling the world has always featured heavily in Robert's working life. After living in Johannesburg and then Belgium, they chose to put down roots in the UK in 1981.
We've been in Britain so long now, it just feels like home. I love the people here, and it's just a relaxed way of living.
Their base for the last 14 years has been the town of Southborough, just outside Tunbridge Wells in Kent. But they no longer need to be within a busy town that's commutable to London.
Where we live now is suburban.
Lots of traffic.
Nice to get away from some of that now, and it's time to start exploring and having a bit of a change, I think.
It's a new adventure.
Another catalyst for the move is the departure of Anita and Robert's 19-year-old son, Christopher. He's now studying aerospace engineering at Southampton University. His leaving has left much of the space in their large converted coach house surplus to requirements.
Well, we'd like to downsize so that we can buy Christopher an apartment.
We've had the opportunity of owning our own home, and I think that's what we'd like to help Christopher with.
As well as bricks and mortar, this adventurous pair also own a motorhome and have spent 9 months exploring much of the country before deciding on relocating to Dorset. The county is not only a convenient location for visiting Christopher at university, but it also offers land and seascapes reminiscent of familiar far-off shores.
The coastline itself and the beaches with beautiful sand reminded us of the Cape. But it's also got beautiful scenery. It's the greenery of it.
It's
the country lanes.
So, now the couple have decided that it's destination Dorset, they're keen to explore new ventures that the county has to offer and also invest more time in their interests.
I'd like to do some voluntary work, either with children with learning difficulties or perhaps help in an old age home.
I enjoy photography, and I'd like to go on some courses to get better at it.
Their current home is already on the market, so with miniature dachshund Ryan by their sides,
it's all systems go to find a beautiful bolt hole in the British countryside.
We'll have more time to do things together.
It means that we can do a lot more relaxing.
It'll be really, really exciting, I think.
Now, whilst Robert and Anita love to visit the coast, they prefer their house to be based further inland, so we're concentrating our search in the north of the county. We're all meeting up in Dorset to finalise the details of their move.
Anita, very nice to see you.
Very nice to meet you.
Rob, very nice to see you.
Hello.
Well, guys, how long have you been thinking about this move for?
Well, we've been waiting for Christopher to finish school, and he's had his first year at university, and we thought this is the right time.
Now, you're releasing a reasonable amount of equity from your current home and its sale in Tunbridge. So how much are you going to spend on this move now?
600?
£600,000.
I like the way you looked at Robert there, just to double check.
Yeah, double check.
£600,000. And what are you looking for?
3 bedrooms at least. 3 receptions.
3 reception. I need a place, a home office of some sort, and a reasonable piece of ground, a garden that Anita can tend to.
Double garage?
And I definitely need a garage. I need a man space.
So we know what you need in terms of the basics, but what about style?
We like modern property. We like old property. We're very open to style.
But obviously in the past you've done some work to your current home, so would you be prepared to do some work to make your new property exactly what you want it to be?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you need space for Christopher to come back and visit, presumably.
Yeah.
Well, he will come back and stay with us, won't
Yeah.
he?
Depends what you buy and with what's left over. I mean,
That's
you
right.
may, you may just want to stay there.
I do.
Well, let's see what we can find you. Weather, I hope, will be kind to us. Shall we go?
Clearing. Yes.
Come on then.
So with a budget of £600,000, our buyers are after a 3-bedroom property with a dedicated space for a study, a good-sized garden for green-fingered Anita, and a garage or workshop for Robert, and all in a location within easy reach of their son at Southampton University. We've dug deep to find our buyers a selection of highly desirable Dorset dwellings, but the price of each won't be revealed until we've had a good look around first. And our final contender is the Mystery House, which could offer a buy one, get one free proposition. We're beginning our search up in the north of the county, around 50 miles from Southampton, in the village of Kington Magna. Surrounded by working farmland, the village is home to a rather novel book exchange. And perched high on a limestone ridge is the prominent landmark of All Saints Church, which claims to have the best ecclesiastical views in Dorset, overlooking Blackmore Vale. A gentle saunter from this picture-perfect backdrop is property number 1.
Well, this is what we're going to start with. What do you think of that, then,
Oh,
madam?
really sweet.
I like that.
I like that.
Yeah.
It is sweet, isn't
I
it?
like
It
the
is sweet.
stonework on that.
It's been added to over the years. The main bit's about 1750.
Looks really nice.
Looks very nice.
Right.
No.
Can we go in?
Shall we?
Built in the 18th century, this home began its life as 2 cottages. Offering a slice of classic Dorset architecture, from the outset it clearly seems to have struck a chord with our buyers. So let's see what they make of the character on the inside.
Come on in.
So nice, isn't it? Isn't it sweet?
It's a great space, isn't it?
Absolutely. Do we get all the keys?
Well, the keys are fascinating, aren't they? There are keys everywhere in this house. Needless to say, there aren't that many doors here. So it's quite a rare collection.
Wow.
But the ingle nook is very nice.
It is
Yes.
lovely.
Is this the sort of thing? I mean, sort of
It's
character-wise?
really quirky.
I like the
lovely.
character of this. Yes.
But the layout's great fun. You'll see what I mean. Have a look
Okay.
to here.
As this property has been extended over the years, the ground floor has an unconventional layout with rooms on different levels. Off the main living area and accessed off a hallway is a garden room which could be a home office for Robert. Also downstairs is the family bathroom as well as a shower room. But next we're off to explore the kitchen.
Yeah, nice size.
It's a great shape. It's nice and square, which is what
Yes.
we're always looking for
It's
in a
easy to
kitchen.
use.
Absolutely. It leads on to the dining room, down yet more steps, which again goes back up
Right.
to the main living room. It's whether or not you feel at home in it, really, I suppose is what I'm trying to
It is
get.
very
I think it's a
homely.
nice size kitchen. It's easy to manoeuvre and change things around if you wanted
Yeah,
to.
absolutely, yeah.
Because of the shape. So, yeah, I think it works.
Down through the dining room and back up into the living room, we're making our way to view the sleeping accommodation up on the first floor. It has a total of 3 bedrooms. One is a good-sized double, simply decorated, and there's also a spacious single, as well as a washroom, so ample space for when their son comes home. But for us, though, it's onwards to the master.
And this is by far the biggest of the lot.
That's a
Oh,
nice size.
nice size.
Nice size room.
And you've got loads of built-in storage over there, too.
Important.
Yeah, very important for Rob's clothes.
I'm not getting into that one. I've been there too many times before. The only thing that takes away from it up here is that all of the bathrooms
So downstairs.
downstairs.
are downstairs.
Not a big problem if just 2 of us in the house.
Well, exactly. You know, that's the way to look at it. And lovely view out over the garden. Come on, let's go out and have a look.
Well, so far, I think they're quietly impressed by this cottage, but I suspect Anita is itching to find out whether the outside space could also work for them. To the front of the property, there's a single garage, and to the rear, the garden extends to 2/3 of an acre.
Look at this. It's much bigger than you can appreciate from the
Wow.
house, really.
It's huge.
Much bigger.
The large lawn is framed by matured trees and features a pond. Elevated towards its top end, it's blessed with far-reaching views across farmland.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Fantastic view, isn't it?
Lovely
Look at
view out that way.
The garden, I think, you know, really is a blank canvas to someone like yourself.
It is. It's
It
a
is.
lovely garden.
Actually, it is quite manageable. I mean, because it only needs mowing, really.
Over there, Rob,
Yeah.
just see the top of that grey roof.
I do.
That is a dedicated workshop.
Perfect.
I don't think, in fairness, there's enough room for the motorhome. But there are some storage units up the road. Literally about 200
Well, that's
yards
ideal.
up the road.
It's no problem.
Well, shall we talk about the price then?
Off you go.
$5.50.
$5.50, yeah.
I would say closer to the 575 mark, or maybe a bit higher.
$5.50 would be good, wouldn't it? $5.25 would be even better.
Very much better.
525 would be very good.
Very good.
That's it. $5.25.
Wow.
525.
That's good.
Yeah. Right then, we've got a bit more time here to allow you to explore the property at your leisure.
Okay.
Thank
Off
you.
you go.
Thanks.
Thank you.
At a very healthy £75,000 below their budget, this extended 3-bedroom period cottage would leave our couple with a sizable amount of spare change to complete any home improvements. And with a large garden overlooking open countryside, it's located on the edge of a village.
Well,
I think a nice cottagey style, maybe a round table, would work perfectly. Over here, I'd love to have a wood burner. I think that would work perfectly.
I think this property is really sweet and it's very homely. And I could probably live here.
I think the house has a good feel about it. It's got great outdoor space. I think that's fantastic. I love the garden.
I definitely think Robert would like this place, yes. And I think he'd probably like the challenge of doing the kitchen.
I think Anita probably liked some of the quirkiness around the house. She does like that type of thing. I think that maybe having the bathrooms downstairs might be a concern.
Right then, it's time to go. Look at this. I quite fancy one of those in my own house, actually. That's rather nice.
Come in.
Come out.
Thank you.
More like. Excellent. 1 down, 2 to go.
Yeah,
Happy so far?
very happy, thank
Very
you.
good start.
Good
Very
start.
good start.
Good start.
If this were our final house, what would you be thinking, I wonder?
Depends what the other two would do.
Ah, indeed.
No.
But I think this is genuinely one worth considering, isn't it?
Definitely,
It is,
definitely.
yeah.
Right. Lunchtime.
Very much
Come on.
so.
Lifetime.
Thank you.
The Dorset area of outstanding natural beauty covers some 44% of the county. And within this protected terrain lie many dense areas of woodland, including a hazel coppice dating back to the 1700s, which lies just outside the market town of Wareham. Here, David Partridge, chairman of the Dorset Coppice Society, practices a traditional type of fence construction called hurdle making. So, with their interest in local sustainability, we've sent Robert and Anita to meet him to learn about his craft.
Welcome to Dorset.
Thank you.
This is my office. This is the coppice system. The hazel will regrow after I've cut it down, and in 7 years' time I can use the same hazel again to make my hurdles.
And a hurdle is?
A hurdle is a woven frame panel made out of hazel, made out of round hazel and split hazel. And it's quite an old traditional craft.
When do hurdles date back to?
At markets, they used to corral the sheep in hurdles, so the basic original hurdle was 3 foot high by 6 foot wide.
To maintain the abundance of local materials such as hazel, coppicing was developed as a traditional method of woodland management, and it's thought to be the oldest form of forestry, dating all the way back to 5000 BC.
You use fresh green wood, we cut it, and we still use it before it's dried out, so it twists easier.
It's more flexible.
Yeah.
So it's certainly ensuring that the ancient arts are keeping going in
Well,
the
that's it,
countryside.
yeah. So it's all traditional crafts, and if you look at the old thatched cottages, there's one here, you'll see there's lots of hazel spars go into that at the top of the cottage.
Are there any environmental benefits to coppicing?
Absolutely. The hazel coppice creates the woodland you can see today. When it's cut, all the flowers regenerate and the butterflies come in.
Hazel has been used to weave hurdles for thousands of years because it's extremely durable and flexible.
So we've got two sorts of hazel. We've got the thin ones we use for start of the hurdle at the bottom, and we've got the thicker ones, which are the splitting rods. So we've let these rods pitch, so that means we've left them to settle down, so we've cut them down, and they've been resting for a couple of days, and we're going to try and split the hazel, the thicker one, so we can weave it and even twist it on the end so we can finish the hurdle off.
Once widely used to fence livestock, today handmade hurdles are often used as a natural alternative to mass-produced purpose-built fencing.
So this is the hurdle. We've brought the hurdle up with all the different split rods we've used, and you can see the odd twist, so we've actually twisted the material around the side, and that holds the end zail in, so these are called zails. And now the next bit is to weave, so it's just lock in and then just start weaving.
All right.
You look eager, Anita.
And then that one.
Okay. So just push it down a little bit when it's in. You okay? That's it.
Yeah.
This process is repeated with the next rod, but this time weaving the other way around the upright posts or zails.
Okay. Rob, do you want to have a go at twisting that? That's it now. Turn it around the other way and roll it round. And just
Handy mallet.
Once freshly cut, the hazel rods can be worked for up to 3 months before the wood becomes too dry to be malleable. Handy for supporting climbing plants or your runner beans, hurdling principles can also be used to make garden furniture.
and we're going to finish off with the round rod, and then it's just a weaver through again.
So do you do that all the way to the top and that's it?
Yeah,
That
so
finishes
just
it
a
off.
couple more round rods, and a hurdle maker's knot on the end, which is the double twist, and then that's it. And then we just trim the bit waste off, and we're done.
So, having had a hands-on insight into how the conservation of some of Dorset's prime woodland also helps to sustain a traditional craft, it's now back to the house hunt. Next, we're heading to the sought-after village of Marnell, which is also around 50 miles from Southampton. Marnell features attractive stone cottages, as well as a grander Tudor residence in the form of Nash Court, presented by Henry VIII to his 6th wife, Catherine Parr, in 1544. There is also a small parade of shops and 2 local pubs. Our second property is a short stroll away from the village centre.
I do love a house where you can walk to the pub. Or pubs, plural.
And you can?
And you can from here. This is it.
Wow. Can we afford
This
this
is
one?
beautiful. This is fantastic.
Absolutely.
And right in front of me is a double garage.
Now, the double garage, it has been converted behind those double doors into a fabulous artist studio.
Wow.
You know, it's beautiful. I'm going to let you explore that
Okay.
on your own at the end of the tour. And I think you could probably just about fit the motorhome in here.
We
could?
could probably just fit... Yes, you could.
Yes, we could.
It's built 1994, so, you know, new build, but new proportions.
It really fits in with the local area, the village.
Yeah. What about it, Anita?
Come, quickly.
I'll follow you then, come on. Better try and keep up. Right, I'm going to overtake you. There we are.
Clearly impressed by the size of this modern chalet-style home, I wonder if Anita is going to be able to contain her excitement once we step inside
Look at this.
and view the living room.
Oh, lovely size.
Beautiful room.
Beautiful. Really nice.
Lovely size. And a wood burner.
Yes. Again, you know, big windows and doors going out to the front garden there.
Really, really nice.
Very nice.
Very, very nice.
And, of course, it's all designed for modern living. So bags and bags of space downstairs and elsewhere as well.
Sold then.
Sold? Really? Sold?
Sold.
Pretty much getting there.
And we only just started.
I know. Well, come on then.
I saw the garage.
Well, guys, this is all good news, isn't it?
Very good.
It is.
Sold.
Very, very good.
How about that?
Well, we've barely explored this place, but Anita and Robert seem to have already moved in. Next stop is the kitchen.
There we go, Anita. What do you think of this, then?
Oh, very nice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice size.
The dining room, of course, is next door. If you wanted to be really creative, you could think about opening that up.
If you want to think about changing it, you could do that
Yeah.
over a period of time. Yeah.
Would you be quite happy in here, madam?
Yes, yes, sir.
Still sold?
Yes, sold.
Adjacent to the kitchen is a utility room and a study which could be useful for Robert. But the expansive accommodation on the ground floor doesn't stop here. I'm keen to show our buyers what could be their rather generous master suite.
So here we are. 5-piece bathroom,
Wow.
and then the main bedroom
Oh,
itself.
really nice size.
Yeah, perfect size.
And I'm not missing the fact that we're not upstairs, really, with this
No,
one.
no. I like a
We
downstairs
quite
bedroom.
like the idea of a downstairs bedroom as we get older.
But you have got upstairs, of course, for when Chris comes to stay and probably brings his mates back with him.
Yep.
And his washing.
And his washing.
Thank you.
There are 3 bedrooms in total. The remaining 2 are found upstairs and are currently used as extra living space, served by another 5-piece family bathroom. Outside, the carefully manicured gardens wrap around the house and feature 2 patios, some raised borders and mature and manageable planting. Now, the grounds themselves may not extend to acres, but I'm hoping they'll still be big enough for Anita.
I love this elevation with these 3 dormer windows.
Very
Looks very,
pretty.
very nice. Yeah.
So now you've seen it all, madam.
I
Are
know.
you still sold on it?
Yes, I'm still sold on it, but I think it's a bit over our price range. Shall I say 625?
65?
I'm going to be optimistic and say 610.
I would chance my luck on this one. I would be even more optimistic, and I would say it's on the market for £595,000.
Really?
There you
So
go.
it's within
Oh, wow.
budget.
In
It's
budget.
within budget and open to sensible offers.
That is very good. I'm happy.
Okay,
I'm a happy man.
I'm happy man.
Are you a happy woman,
Yeah,
madam?
very happy. Definitely sold.
Definitely sold. Do you remember when we arrived and I pointed out the double garage, which has been converted into an artist's studio?
Yes.
Now's your moment. So go and have a look at that, and I will catch up with you a little bit later.
Okay, thank you.
Off you go.
Just £5,000 under their maximum budget, this modern chalet-style property with 3 bedrooms seems to have the ideal layout for our couple. It has a manageable garden and is located within a highly sought-after village.
Oh, this is a nice size, isn't it?
Garage.
This is the garage. I'll have to convert it back, I'm afraid. But,
Yes, there'll be plenty of room to put a workbench there.
yeah,
Yeah. This will
2
work.
cars.
This will work.
Great.
Inside, the accommodation is perfect. The downstairs bedroom is a great idea. I think Anita will love this house. Her face said it all as we moved into it.
This is really brilliant. I think it's just what we're looking for, really. I mean, I know it's quite a small garden, but I think a small garden will be better for us in the long term. I hope that Rob likes this house, and I hope he likes it as much as I do.
I think we could move in tomorrow.
Does it feel like home then?
It does.
It does feel like home, yeah. It does.
So we have maybe sold it.
Maybe.
Well, somebody's very happy.
Do you still want to see the Mystery House tomorrow morning?
I love a mystery.
You see, you never know what you might be missing, do you?
I know.
That's the problem.
Come on then.
It's the second day of our property hunt with Anita and Robert, who are looking to leave the commuter town of Southborough in Kent in favour of rural Dorset. Coming up, our mystery property could provide them with a tempting proposition.
It's an interesting space. I haven't seen something like this before.
And I find out about the evolution of a rather mobile part of our agricultural heritage.
And are they easy to move?
They are, yeah. In here, on hard ground, you can move it on your own, just one person.
Well, what a week we are having here in Dorset. Two very strong properties yesterday, the second of which Rob and Anita declared sold. So you may be thinking we can all take the day off, but of course we're not going to be letting our buyers sign up to anything before they've seen our final offering, our mystery house. Could it be bigger? Could it be better? Well, you never know your luck, but one thing is for sure. It also contains an interesting option for their son Chris, which may in the future save them quite a lot of money. So let's see if they like it.
For our final option, we're travelling south to the village of Shroton, which at around 45 miles from Southampton is the closest location to our couple's son at university. Towering 190 metres above the village is Hambledon Hill, which is one of the best preserved Iron Age hill forts in Britain. Sitting at the foot of this site of special scientific interest, the ancient River Ewan winds its way through the quaint village centre, but there's also a post office and a pub. Located just on the edge of the village is our mystery option. Now, as our buyers are hoping to release equity from their current home to buy their son a property, I couldn't resist showing them something with the potential to make this a real possibility, perhaps a little closer to home than they would have imagined.
Well, here we are, at long last.
Mystery house.
Our mystery house. There you go.
Oh, that's different. Very different.
And in fairness to you, it's probably hard to make sense of it from here because it really comes to life inside. It had a certain sort of Georgian feel about it.
Right.
But it was only built in 1968.
That's fairly new.
The key thing is that the top floor is a separate flat.
Ah.
You see? This is where we're going with the whole Christopher conundrum. Or you could just keep it for him for when he comes back to visit.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you opening your mind to the possibility?
I am. Let's come on.
All right, come on.
This very modern and very different property was designed to maximise its location, making the most of the surrounding views.
Now, as you can see, what is effectively the ground floor has been elevated via this very elegant staircase.
Now, it may have been a reserve start outside, but I think this is a property that could really grow on Robert and Anita.
Disappointing.
It's not huge,
No.
but in terms of a working space,
It's about manageable.
Yeah, it's workable.
but this is something which is absolutely unique. This is the door through to the dining room.
Oh, wow. That's different.
Yeah, it's a bit Thunderbirds, isn't it? This is a Jefferson door. Crazy, but it allows you, I suppose, to make the best use of the space the door would ordinarily occupy.
Yeah.
But we can go through it.
Wow.
Crazy, isn't it?
Really crazy.
This is really quirky, this place, honestly. Come through. Yet more elegance for you.
Very nice.
And just look at those views.
Wow.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Views to die for.
I love this room, and I think, you know, with the bay window, the doors out to the terrace, nice working fireplace.
Very comfortable. Very nice.
Yeah, cosy.
Very
room.
cosy.
Could you be happy in here?
Yes.
I mean, sitting there and looking at the view all day, yes.
Due to the unusual layout of this property, the bedrooms are located on the ground floor. A simply styled family bathroom serves two good-sized doubles, and we're making a beeline to the one that could be their master.
There you go. And it leads through to quite a generously proportioned ensuite, actually.
All right.
Kind of corner bath with shower above it and all the rest of it. And again, a lovely bay window, making the best of those views.
Those views.
Not overlooked at all.
No.
Not at all.
No.
In terms of the flow of this one, because it is unusual, how does it feel?
The flow's fine.
Yeah.
Is it working?
Sort of.
Sort of.
Sort of.
Robert seems to be open-minded to the quirkiness of this house, even if Anita needs a little more convincing. But I'm hoping what I'm about to show them might present them with an interesting option for their son. Outside and to the rear of the property, there's a staircase leading up to the top floor, where we find a self-contained flat. Featuring a living-cum-sleeping area, a compact kitchen and a small bathroom, with a little TLC, this has the potential for our couple to provide their son with his very own pad before he decides where he'd like to buy.
Now, what do you think Christopher would make of this, then?
Wow, this is a bit amazing.
It's a bit of a time capsule. It feels very late 60s.
Yeah.
But through that door there is an enormous loft space. It's as big as this again. It would make a fantastic bedroom, which would mean that if you knocked all this out through to the kitchen, you'd have kitchen, living room. Amazing space. If this were a flat in West London, it would be 400 grand.
Absolutely.
Exactly, yes.
But it's just on top of your house. So it's a bonus.
It's an interesting space. I haven't seen something like this before. Yeah.
Is it growing on you?
Sort of.
Sort of. Well, the price may help your decision making.
Okay.
Should we go out and enjoy the views?
Let's do that.
Come on.
Well, our mystery property is still getting muted reactions from Anita, but I've got one last chance to impress her. Outside, there's a spacious garage and workshop, which can also be accessed directly from the house via an indoor lift. And to the rear, the good-sized yet low-maintenance lawn garden has a beautiful view over Hambledon Hill.
The garden is what you see, but
But you've got a garden here.
look at that. I mean, what a view. Come on, it's got to be growing a little bit.
A little bit.
Robert, help me out here. You can guess first.
It's under budget, so 585.
585?
I don't think it's going to be that much. 540.
Well, here's the thing. You're both wrong.
Oh, okay.
Which way?
The good way.
The good way.
It's 500,000. 500,000.
500,000.
So we've just saved you 100 grand. Now, admittedly, you're going to spend some of that on it, but
Yeah.
the rest of the money that you're going to save from the sale of your house, you can keep in the bank until you know what Christopher's going to do.
What I'm going to do.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
certainly
it's
something...
worth thinking, considering.
Right then, off you go.
Right.
Go and have an explore.
Thank
See what you
you.
might do with that £100,000 change.
Okay.
Okay,
We'll do
thank
that.
you. Right.
And in the meantime, I think I might just enjoy the archaeology.
£100,000 under budget, our mystery property offers 2 bedrooms, spacious reception rooms and a self-contained flat, presenting our couple with the potential to make a lovely country home for themselves and a separate one for their son. And situated on the edge of a village, it's also blessed by fabulous historic views. It's not just Dorset's stunning coast that has a few tales to tell. Inland, the rural heart of the county inspired one of the country's greatest authors, Thomas Hardy, to pen his most famous works. And the agricultural landscape here continues to provoke creative minds. Today, the village of Waterston is home to local entrepreneur Richard Lee, for whom a humble shelter for shepherds has come to play a key role in his 21st century business.
Now, the shepherd's hut is synonymous with Dorset, as, of course, are sheep and, of course, are Hardy. There is a very specific connection, though, within all of that to where we are now, isn't there?
Yeah, we are. Well, we're looking down on the valley at Waterston, really, which is where Far From the Madding Crowd was set. When Hardy wrote the novel, Bathsheba lived in Waterston Manor, Gabriel Oak lived in a cottage in the field, and Farmer Boldwood lived at Druce Farm.
But what gave you the idea to take up the mantle of resurrecting these huts?
On the top of the hill, on the brow of the hill, there was an old hut. I saw it, and in the back of my mind, I thought, well, if that ever came up for sale, I might, you know, let's have it and rebuild it. But it went by on a lorry. It got sold, and I thought, that's a shame. It was, quite a feature of the area. Everybody knew about it. So I thought, well, let's make a copy. Made our first one 15 years ago.
that rustic end of it, clearly that appealed to you.
It couldn't be more appropriate, really, working in the countryside, making an iconic, you know, rural bygone, but with a contemporary twist.
I can't wait to see how you make them.
Brilliant. Well, I look forward to showing you around.
These huts have been around for hundreds of years and were used by shepherds during the lengthy lambing season when they had to be on hand 24/7 to ensure the safety of their flock. It's the classic Victorian hut, clad in corrugated iron with a curved roof, which inspires the huts Richard makes today. He employs a core team of 8 hut makers, craftsmen who restore original models as well as making new ones.
They look absolutely fabulous. I love the range of colours as well.
This one here is a 14-foot hut, and it's off to the Highlands of Scotland. And I think that might sort of explain the colour.
It's lacking a big white cross, isn't it, really? That's what it needs. But this is 14 foot.
That's 14 foot. So we based them as near as we can to the originals, which were about 12 foot long, about 6 foot 6 wide. We've got an old original hut down here that we're restoring.
Oh, that one in the back there?
Yeah, I mean, that's as typical as they could be, really. And a shepherd's hut should have its wheels outside the body of the hut. And you have a smaller wheel at the steering end so that it can steer. You can hitch it up to a tractor or originally a horse, and you can steer it and tow it out.
And are they easy to move?
They are, yeah. In here, on hard ground, you can move it on your own, just one person.
Huts were originally made by blacksmiths at local forges, and Richard still gets his cast iron wheels made at a nearby foundry to his own design.
Is this one in any way finished?
It's nearly there. We've just got the 12-volt electrics to do. There'll be a solar panel on the roof, running charging a battery, and that will run LED lights inside. So all the furniture's done. It's got a bed, table that drops down to form a bed.
And I love the little wood burner in there. That's beautiful.
Yeah, and again, all fitted to modern standards.
Now, you do a range of sizes.
We do.
I'm dying to know the prices.
From about 15,000 upwards.
Last year, the team made 40 huts, and to date have created some 300, each one taking a few hundred hours to complete. And those classic, simple proportions have uses that are far and wide. Many are transformed into luxury glamping retreats, or simply used as an alternative to summer houses, offices and art studios. What's more, being portable, they're seen as lifelong investments that you can tow away as and when you move.
You can stay in a hotel room or a cottage any day of the week. This is something that's going to stick in your memory.
It will do, yeah. It's got that kind of romantic sort of feel to it.
The use of these simple huts may have evolved over the last 150 years or so, but there's no doubting the enduring charm of their traditional simplicity.
What would be the ultimate hut? Have you made it yet?
A bit like being a painter or an artist, isn't it? You know that the next one's going to be the best one, and then will it ever happen? I don't know.
It's that search for continual perfection.
Yeah, it is.
Well, Richard, it's been a real treat. Thank you very much. And it's delightful to think that once again the British countryside is now going to have shepherd's huts strewn across it. Well, it is a cruel law of probability that even on a good week on Escape to the Country, in general, we only have a 1 in 3 chance of getting it right, if at all. So have we managed to do it this week for Robert and Anita? Well, as you can see, they're enjoying a drink. Let's go and ask them. Well, how are you two?
Very well, thank you.
Hello for the last time.
Final time.
How are we doing?
Very well, thank you.
Beautiful sunshine.
We've had beautiful weather, beautiful properties, but have we managed to find you one that will work?
I think possibly.
Yeah, I thought so. Property number 2.
Yes.
What happened there, Anita?
It was really nice. I really liked it. It was lovely.
Liked it? You said it was sold.
Yeah, it was sold. In fact, we're going for our second viewing today.
You're going for a second viewing today?
Yes.
Yes.
We haven't finished the show yet.
I know.
Sorry.
You can't mess around.
This is working fast. Are you optimistic about putting in an offer?
A lot depends on what's happening with our house, obviously. Our house is on the market. We believe we've got some people very interested. It would be great if they put an offer in and we could then move swiftly.
Wow, this is all slightly breathtaking, isn't it? Were you expecting to be in this position at the end of the week?
I sort of had a feeling that might happen.
It was very much love at first sight, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it's the entrance was very imposing. It had a nice feel about the house, the front of the house. We loved the
veranda sort of walkway sort of reminds us a bit about Africa.
Yeah. Well, guys, I'm delighted. I'm not going to delay you any longer. You've got a viewing to get to.
We do.
Well, look, best of luck. Let us know how you get on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers. Congratulations.
Thank you.
you.
Dorset really is one of my favourite parts of the UK. In just a few weeks' time, this wheat crop will have been harvested, and hopefully by then, Robert and Anita will have done their own deal on their new home, getting them far from the madding crowd and into a new life in the country. I'll see you next time.
If you'd like to escape to the country in Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland or England and would like our help, then please apply online at bbc.co.uk/Be On A Show.
Welcome to Escape to the Country. This towering monument behind me was erected to commemorate one of two of this county's most famous sons who coincidentally happened to share the same name. But to whom was it built and where? Well, as ever, join me in just a moment and I'll tell you.
Today's house hunters are hoping to switch suburban living for a relaxed life in a rural setting, and our properties present more than what first meets the eye.
Oh, wow. That's different.
Yeah.
And they find it hard to contain their excitement.
Sold then.
Sold? Really? Sold?
Sold.
Pretty much getting there.
And we only just started. Well, today we are in Dorset, and this is the Hardy Monument, built not as you might think to the Victorian author Thomas Hardy, but rather to Vice Admiral Sir Thomas Masterman Hardy. He was the flag captain of HMS Victory, in whose arms Nelson famously died following the Battle of Trafalgar back in 1805. But Hardy, the Admiral, was a naval hero in his own right, going on to become the first Sea Lord before his death in 1839. In 1844, this monument was put up to commemorate his efforts, and ever since then, it's dominated this part of the county. And if you've never been here before, this is a great place to start because it gives you a genuinely bird's-eye view of some of the best that Dorset has to offer. Well, house hunting in Dorset can be an expensive business. Here, the average price of a detached property is currently £343,000. That's a whopping £60,000 above the national figure. So if you want a little bit more value for money, here's the tip. Head west, away from the border with Hampshire and away from the coast. Little villages like Charminster and Charlton Down can offer you plenty of value for money, but also loads of village charm. And what's more, they're within easy distance of the county town of Dorchester. So what about today's buyers? What's attracted them to a life in Dorset? Well, let's meet them and find out.
Anita met semi-retired sustainability consultant Robert in their homeland of South Africa. They first set eyes on one another at work and have now been married for 42 years.
I was at Cape Town University doing ballet course, and I joined the bank, and Robert was my boss at the time.
Anita is my soulmate. We pretty much do everything together.
Travelling the world has always featured heavily in Robert's working life. After living in Johannesburg and then Belgium, they chose to put down roots in the UK in 1981.
We've been in Britain so long now, it just feels like home. I love the people here, and it's just a relaxed way of living.
Their base for the last 14 years has been the town of Southborough, just outside Tunbridge Wells in Kent. But they no longer need to be within a busy town that's commutable to London.
Where we live now is suburban.
Lots of traffic.
Nice to get away from some of that now. And it's time to start exploring and having a bit of a change, I think.
It's a new adventure.
Another catalyst for the move is the departure of Anita and Robert's 19-year-old son, Christopher. He's now studying aerospace engineering at Southampton University. His leaving has left much of the space in their large converted coach house surplus to requirements.
Well, we'd like to downsize so that we can buy Christopher an apartment.
We've had the opportunity of owning our own home, and I think that's what we'd like to help Christopher with.
As well as bricks and mortar, this adventurous pair also own a motorhome and have spent 9 months exploring much of the country before deciding on relocating to